This one's unbelievable. You got to see it because Kamala Harris, her campaign tried to make some allegations about Donald Trump because he was in Pennsylvania. It was apparently very hot. There were a couple of people that actually needed to be carried out at this event in Pennsylvania. So he just kind of stopped the event after the second person got hot and seemed to have fainted. He stopped the event and he played some music and they kind of had a dance party. So Ave Maria by Luciano Pavarotti, one of my favorite. I could recognize that voice anywhere. That'll be on my Christmas album. Trish Regan singing Ave Maria. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. So he played Luciano, he played YMCA, they had some fun, and everybody seemed fine. But Kamala had a very different interpretation of the event, writing on Twitter, from Kamala HQ, Trump appears lost, confused, and frozen on stage as multiple songs play for 30 plus minutes and the crowd pours out of the venue early. So this is interesting. I got to be careful not to play any music in this because there's all these rules around playing music online. So if I fast forward, you know what I'm doing, but I want you to see what ABC News, okay, Disney-owned ABC News had to say. It might surprise you. You heard Kamala's interpretation of the events. Let's go to one of the journalists who...
Town hall event in Pennsylvania took an unusual turn after he was interrupted twice by medical emergencies in the room. Hey, Terry.
Hey, Alex. So Donald Trump came here to the suburbs of Philadelphia, one of the critical battlegrounds in this battleground state, looking for votes. And it was scheduled to be this town hall event where he would be taking questions and listening to voters. And it turned into something else, as you say, when the candidate turned into a DJ. I guess on the screens it might have looked quite strange. Inside that hall, however, people were having a good time. What can I tell you? It did not seem out of the ordinary. It seemed almost intimate. And at the end, Trump did something he very rarely does. He came down off the stage and mingled with his supporters. He was signing autographs and shaking hands and the like. Today, he's doing an interview with Bloomberg in Chicago, and then
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. I mean, he's saying, look, it wasn't crazy. Like, he kind of just had a human moment. That's what they forget about him. He's actually, well, he's a great politician. He's actually kind of a human being first. And I think he felt for those people and he wanted to make sure everybody was okay. And he didn't really, if somebody was in a critical state, didn't really want to keep going with this speech. It actually was all about sort of understanding, I think, the tone of the room and that moment he was in. And so Kamala's trying to make it something else entirely. And I think that's actually really interesting that this guy, Terry Moran from ABC News, has no incentive to sing Donald Trump's praises in any way, but was just trying to give sort of a view of the vibe that was there. And so when Joy Reid claims that, this is all a big charade and somehow the GOP is trying to create God knows what. I mean, she's got a really fantastical conspiracy theory there. I think that it's important to remember all that we've learned. And I mean, we can go back to the dossier. We can go back to the laptop that, 51X spooks, including the former deputy director of the CIA, were trying to tell you was not real, only it was real. We can go back to the virus that was being worked on out of Wuhan, China, that wound up shutting the whole world down for way too long. And we were told, no, that didn't come from Wuhan, China, and you weren't even allowed to talk about these things. Now, every single three-letter agency has said, yeah, it came right out of Wuhan, China in that lab, except for the CIA, which remains divided for reasons which we don't need to discuss at this moment in time, but you get the picture, right? So it's one thing after another. You think about the way that we started the show and the editing of the word salad that they did on CBS News, or you think about the editing that they did to Mike Johnson. You think about even how she's trying to present Donald Trump, Kamala Harris is trying to present Donald Trump as somehow, a total mess and totally crazy because he stopped after two people had been taken ill and said, okay, let's just calm down and listen to some music. And the reporter that's in the room was like, actually, it was a really appropriate thing to do. So I would just say, you know what? You have your own eyes. You have the ability to look at things yourself. You have the ability to consume news from all these different sources and opinion from all these different sources. Thank you for being here and letting me share mine with you, because I have one motive and one motive only, and that's to make sure that we are safe, we are secure, We are prosperous. Okay, that's what we need to succeed as a country. We need to be safe. We need to be secure. We need to be prosperous, which means we need the meritocracy. We don't need the DEI nonsense that she's going to fool everybody's head with. We don't need Kamala Harris picking the winners and the losers. We need people to work hard and try and succeed. And you know what we got to be able to do? Give every kid in this country equal opportunity. We're not going to guarantee the outcome, but we sure as heck ought to do our best to guarantee opportunity. She's not going to do that. She's not going to do that. Okay, we're going to get Trish's Irish up this afternoon. I look forward to seeing Bret Baier's interview. I do hope that he gives her some really decent questions. I'm not as conspiratorial yet as the others. I think he'll try and do the best job he can. It's just a question of, can he do that good a job? Right? Okay, I hope that Maria feeds him a few, okay? Let's get some real questions in there, certainly on the issue that matters to every single American right now.